Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Foxy298 here. Welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on my channel. Today we are back with a brand new F1 2016 career mode video for you guys today. This is season 6 part 19 now here for the Mexican Grand Prix, where we do have an opportunity to wrap up the Drivers' Championship. But before we get into that, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop a like on it. That'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel already. And having a look at the driver's standings, then we are 53 points clear of our nearest rival, Valtteri Bottas, in the championship, with Massa and Rosberg now out of the equation. It is now a 2-horse race. And in the constructors' standings, it is a simple 52 or 53 points, I think the exact same as the driver's standings. Points gap ahead of me and Bottas. So, me and Williams. So, we're going to be getting down to the wire, really, with both championships. But before we get into today's video, overall, quick things to talk about. Firstly, this career mode video was meant to come out last Saturday. However, I was actually away last Saturday, so I had videos pre-recorded. So you would have had videos all throughout the weekend. But unfortunately, there was one or two little issues that were trying to be, which was causing me to not be able to upload this video straight away. So I think I uploaded Randomize the Championship on Saturday. Hopefully you enjoyed that. This career mode video, basically, I had to delay it. Because there was some small issues, and I had to render out. I rendered out about 5 or 6 videos in one, like, in the morning, just so then I could put them on my hard drive to then go out. So then when I had the chance, I could upload it. And it was all complicated, but basically there was a couple of issues. Couldn't upload this on Saturday, so it's here today. Second thing, we've got 2 more races to go. Now, they're scheduled for Wednesday and Saturday if I'm doing videos, but I want you to let me know in the comment section down below on this video. Would you like me to live stream the final 2 races, in which we will start from the back in both races, so we'll start last, and we will work our way up the grid to get the win? Or would you like me to just do them in simple videos, and then that'll be it, because I'm not doing any more career mode videos now until F1 2017? Or would you, so in other words, do you want videos or do you want live streams? That's what I want to know. And then finally, Subscriber Championship is at 6 PM tonight. Anyone wondering, it did not go ahead yesterday. Unfortunately, there was a lot of things, I'm not going to talk about any of them at all, that came up yesterday, and they were just more important than sub-champ, so I went and did all those. Again, like I said, not going to go into detail about those because I don't have to, and I won't. That all happened. So that is happening tonight, and you'll see Subscriber Championship tomorrow. So that's pretty much everything to talk about. So, into qualifying then, we can actually talk about this episode. Luckily, I kept loads of stuff in, but we weren't really quick in Mexico. Didn't really like it. Don't like the track, honestly. It's not a very fun track to drive on the game. Not really an interesting track either, ever since they brought it back. But we come across the line here to set 117.4, which was 4/10 off of Rosberg's pace, which wasn't too bad, I actually honestly felt, because in Q2 we were about over a second off the pace. So looking at the qualifying session then, Rosberg gets pole ahead of Valtteri Bottas, Massa and myself. But of course, with the long run down towards turn 1, it is all to play for in this Grand Prix, and we can't be too unsatisfied with that. Obviously, we have been on a bit of a bad run of form in this second half of the season, and ever since Belgium, things haven't quite gone our way. I mean, in Belgium we DNF'd, Italy we got Italy and Singapore back-to-back wins. Malaysia and Japan back-to-back DNFs, or 1 DNF and 1 non-point scoring position. Then we got a win, and now we're here today. So we've won 3, lost 3, I think. So we haven't been on the best run of form. So we definitely look to try and change that here. But the first half of the season we were dominating. But anyway, looking at the race strategy then, you can see that I was having a look at the strategy here, and we've got the soft and mediums, which is a 2-stop. But for me, I'm not very quick around here, and tyre wear is going to be a big issue for myself. I don't think I'm that good on tyre wear, if I'm perfectly honest. So I decided to mess around. I messed around with the strategy a lot, and I seriously mean a lot. I basically screwed around, made loads of changes. So basically, in terms of the strategy, we're going to be doing the 3-stop rather than the 2-stop. Now, you're probably thinking to yourselves, that's a bit of a silly idea. And that's exactly what I thought as well. So, you know, we're both right there. So basically, what I was doing is I was checking the projected time to see if I could try and get, because it says it's going to add an extra 2 seconds. I basically wanted to see if it worked, but eventually I changed the strategy, so it's fine. Basically, there's 2 things. A, my tyre wear is terrible, and B, my pace in Mexico is terrible. So I thought, if I'm going to go for a 3-stop, I might as well I just need to do something different. So what I decided to do is I'm going to do the 3-stop. I know I'm messing around with the strategy, but whatever. So we're back to the original now. Took me long enough to realize that, and then change the fuel up. But basically, I thought, let's do something different then. So we may not have the pace to beat our rivals out and out in terms of pace. But if we're going to not be able to beat our rivals, we might as well just make sure that tyre wear is an issue, and we can at least push hard. So it means I'm not going to be vulnerable from behind. So I might not win this race, but at least I won't be vulnerable due to tyre wear. So we're going to get into this though. We are here on the grid now. We are on, and we have got 5 red lights here for the Mexican Grand Prix. And it is lights out. Here we go here for the Mexican Grand Prix. It's been a good start from Rosberg. Actually, a brilliant start from him. We've got a stunning start from with both Ferraris there. Massa blocking down off the line. And we're going to come flying through here. Like I said, Mexico is not a track you want to be in pole position here. And we're going to come absolutely flying through now. Take that racing line in towards turn 1. And we get the move stuck there. And there's 4 wide going into turn 1 as we go flying through there and up into the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix. Rosberg behind us in second, Mercedes 1-2, Massa's in third, but he's got Kimi Raikkonen there who's made an absolutely flying start up into P4, and Raikkonen makes it stick down Massa, so really great stuff there as we now look to continue to build our lead up front. We've got Massa, Bottas, then we've got Vettel, so both Williams is getting horrible starts. Ricardo, then we've got the Haas of, I believe that's Esteban Gutierrez there we're looking at now. And then we've got Romain Grosjean making a move down the inside of Fernando Alonso, so going backwards is to McLaren just like they are in real life there. Max Verstappen further down the order, his luck seems to be continuing in this series, and we've now got a group of cars here looking at the Renault of Kevin Magnussen, Palmer there behind, then we've got Button, the 2 Saubers, a Manor, a Toro Rosso, and another Manor. I don't know where the other Toro Rosso is. As we go back onto our POV here, up in the lead into the stadium section now, and you can see we've got a very good lead here with Rosberg and Raikkonen further on behind here. Raikkonen looking quite close to Nico Rosberg actually as we come across to exit the first lap here, but what we've got here is Felipe Massa holding up a bit of a train here, and it looks like Valtteri Bottas is interested. In fact, Bottas actually got past Massa somewhere, so perhaps maybe maybe Bottas was already in front of Massa. I'm not 100% sure, but you can see he is slipstreaming him, but we've got Kimi Raikkonen here looking a little bit interesting. We've got a Haas there in the background, and we are going to cut straight to that here as the Haas car of Romain Grosjean goes down the side of Hulkenberg and actually makes a double move here and attacks Ricciardo as well. Great stuff there from Grosjean. Really getting racy and shoves Ricciardo wide there, and he's hit the force in here, and it's all carnage and chaos here in the background now as we've got Verstappen, Hulkenberg, Gutierrez, and now Perez is in on the action. Alonso wants in as well. They're all going for it here in the Mexican Grand Prix, trying to show their worth here in Formula 1 as Alonso round the outside. Can he make this move stick here on Ricciardo? I don't think he can. He might just have to back out of it. Alonso's still hanging on in there though. Check him out, Fernando Alonso, and he is still going to hang on in there, and he is still trying to fight here, but unfortunately it's not enough for him to get in front as Gutierrez now pulls away here. We've got Vettel there very close to Massa. Raikkonen also very close to Rosberg. Skipping further on now onto lap 3 of the Grand Prix now, and Raikkonen is right on the back of my teammate Nico Rosberg in the slipstream here. Will the Ferrari driver overtake the Mercedes driver? He will. Look at that. Great speed there from Kimi into turn 1. Rosberg's going to fend him though. He's not going to give this one up, is Rosberg. In towards turn 2 and turn 3. They're going to compromise each other's lines horribly there. And Rosberg stays in front, and Bottas has closed right up to the back of the pack now. And as you can see, he's going to have a look at trying to get past him as Vettel in the background has passed Massa, and Bottas squeezes through Kimi Raikkonen there and is up into 3rd place now. Next for him is my teammate Rosberg, and while this is all going on, I am pulling away up front in this race. And now we look to further on out onto lap 4. DRS is wide open for Valtteri Bottas. Rosberg is going to be a sitting duck down the pit straight here. Through he goes, and Bottas makes that one stick, and he is up into 2nd place. And next on his hit list is going to be me in the Mercedes up front. Looking on board with myself, we're on to lap 5 of the Grand Prix now, and we're going to be making the first of our 3 pit stops. And I'm not going to lie, first of all, we're going to make a little cheeky entrance there, cut a little bit there, why not? But as soon as I made this pit stop, it kind of dawned on me that maybe the 3-stop wasn't the best way to go. So we pit now in. I believe that might actually be Valtteri Bottas coming. It is Bottas. So Bottas pitting at the same time as us. And that was when I was thinking, are the Williams cars doing a 3-stop as well as me? Or are they doing something different? But Bottas, I know, went onto the soft tyres, which means that he is doing a 2-stop, but he's just come in a little bit earlier. I have come onto the super soft tyres, which is guaranteeing myself a 3-stop race. As we come out of the pits now, you can see we've got Felipe Massa very close to us here, but we get a great run through 1, 2, and 3 here, and we're already on the back of Felipe Massa, kicking up a little bit of dirt in the process here, and you can already see how close we are to the back of the Williams car, and this is going to be a very easy overtake to move past Felipe Massa, as I don't want him holding me up in this Grand Prix. So as you can see, we went down the inside there of Felipe Massa, making that one stick there, and we're up into P3. Kimi Raikkonen's next up the road with Nico Rosberg in front, so Rosberg stays in front of Raikkonen. Onto lap 10 of the Grand Prix now, and we're back up into the lead of the race, running very wide on the exit at turn 3 there, with Romain Grosjean now out of this Grand Prix. So unfortunate for Romain, we are going to find out why. So he's attacking Rio Haryanto in the manner. He's got Max Verstappen behind. So remember, Grosjean made a great start in this race, and he goes down the inside of Haryanto, and his engine fails, but at least he managed to get the overtake whilst his engine was smoking. So good stuff there from Grosjean, but unlucky at the end of the day. Onto lap 12 of the Grand Prix now, and it's time to go in for our second pit stop here of the Grand Prix in this race, and we're just gonna trundle on in, go on to a set of soft tyres, and we've got to push then in the middle stint, and again taking a cheeky entrance into the pits. Luckily we don't get a penalty for that, because probably should, but I didn't, so I did it. But we're in now for a set of the soft tyres, and as soon as we got to this point in the race, this is when I knew I'd kind of screwed myself over quite considerably, because I had track position over Bottas and over Rosberg, and I had about a 7 or 8 second lead, give or take. I can't remember what it was, but as soon as I committed to this restop, I was ready to do that because I wasn't expecting to be up the grid. But it turns out that my pace was quite good. My tyre wear was terrible. Like literally, I was going straight through these tyres. But my big problem was I had track position, but we're gonna have to see how this race pans out. But on to lap 20 of the Grand Prix, and it's time for the annoying backmarkers as Magnussen here decides to park his car right on the apex there, completely brake checking me there in the middle of the apex. I don't know what Kevin is doing. We had a lot of problems with backmarkers all race long, but Magnussen there just decided not to basically just not get it out of the way. On to lap 24 of the Grand Prix now, and we're going to be making our final pit stop here for another set of soft tyres in this race, and I knew I had to commit to doing the 3-stop. But honestly, as soon as I was halfway through my super soft stint, my second one, and I was about to change to soft tyres, I knew I'd made a mistake. Honestly, I think the 2-stop was the better way to go, because with track position, it meant I would have been able to have had a good battle with Valtteri and Nico as they go flying through now, and really, it's all about whether I have the pace or not to close that down. But we're coming out of the pits now, nevertheless. We can't be too downbeat. We've got to keep pressing. At least we haven't crashed out of this race yet. We've got Raikkonen there in front for P3. So at the moment, a podium is still on for us in this race, which will do me nicely. So let's get on to him. So we've got Marcus Ericsson there in the Sauber, and yep, he's going to probably hold me up in the same place that Magnussen hold me up completely. But we can see we're pressing onwards now. We've got very low fuel load, actually. We've been very aggressive on the fuel strategy here for this Grand Prix, breaking into the first sector now. You can see the gap is 1.9 seconds between myself and Kimi, taking a lot of curb there, and we need to close that down. I think that is a Manor. Yes, it is a Manor holding up Raikkonen there, so luckily he's going to hold him up. Hopefully I don't get held up here, because I definitely need to close the Kimi as Kimi now tries to get round the Manor there. Bit of a dodgy place for the Manor to be, and then I'm going side by side and completely holding me up. Haryanto squeezing me there, making contact there, so Haryanto being an absolute pleb. No wonder he's not in Formula 1 anymore. I mean, it's not to do with his driver talent. He actually had great talent. It was just finances. But still, completely holding me up there, squeezing me really tight there towards the grass in the high-speed middle sector. But luckily, it compromised Raikkonen as well. And we're right on the back of Kimi now here. And this is for a podium place. It's all for track position here. So around the final corner we come now onto the pit straight here, and we're going to get a great run on Kimi Raikkonen here. Looking from the grandstands, you can see, here we come now, flying on the pit straight. There is nothing that Kimi is going to do to stop us from flying through here. Open up the DRS and come flying through on the back of Kimi here. This is going to be a very easy overtake, straight through on Kimi there. Lovely stuff, and we're up into P3 now, and that is us on the podium. And let's see what we can do now against corner cut. Against, don't worry, I got warned for that. I think I had 1 or 2 warnings in this race, but that was definitely a warning, my bad. But we definitely need to now start thinking about where we can close up to Nico Rosberg and also Valtteri Bottas, because we've gone purple in the first sector. The gap is 6.4 seconds with 11 laps to go, and we've got more back markers. And this time I got a bit impatient, so I flew past Button here, who actually decided to be quite nice, let me have the position there. So as you can see, then on to lap 28, Felipe Nasr comfortably getting out of my way, sort of completely compromising the apex of turn 1. Should have really just outbroken himself and let me have the apex of 1. So again, honestly, you wouldn't have believed it, because of course I was just by myself. But yeah, these back markers really annoy me. We've got Gutierrez now completely blocking the apex there, making me have to go around the outside and making me have to avoid him. And yeah, more problems there with back markers, as the gap is now 5.4. We're on lap 29 here between myself and Nico Rosberg. So we are closing on the top two, but unfortunately we're just not closing enough in this stage of the race, and the gap is now 5.9, so we've lost half a second in the final sector, but we're pressing up now towards Carlos Sainz here. We've actually got a fantastic run, of course. Sainz in one of the slowest cars on the grid as Gutierrez tries to slip him. It looks like Carlos Sainz might just get out of the way. Nope, he's going to block the apex of turn 1 and then move to the outside line. So yeah, great back marker work there, Carlos Sainz, and he actually lost the place to Gutierrez, and you deserve to, because you got in my way. But that is all the back markers out of the way. On to the last lap of the Grand Prix. Unfortunately, I just didn't have the pace to catch up to Valtteri Bottas and also Nico Rosberg in this Grand Prix. So we're going to come across now. I believe Valtteri Bottas is going to come across the line and win the Mexican Grand Prix, which means that the title race does roll on to the Brazilian Grand Prix. However, it's going to be a tall order for Bottas to do it, as we've taken a very good P3 in this Grand Prix for us today. And obviously Rosberg getting second. I think Massa got 5th, so in the constructors that helps us out as well. But guys, that is it for the Mexican Grand Prix. Overall, I think really I should have stuck to the 2-stop. Basically, there's no word about it. I had a great advantage over Bottas and Rosberg. No doubt they would have probably caught me up and given me a really big hard fight. And my tyre wear would have been horrible, but as we see a floating Massa. But I just think the 2-stop might have been better. I would have had track position, and it would have meant a lot of defending for me. It would have been a lot harder, but at least we've been able to put up a fight. And you never know, we might have been able to have stayed in front. Who knows? But I went for the 3-stop purely down to I never have pace around Mexico in this game. I don't like the track, and basically I didn't want to be suffering with tyre wear, and I just wanted to make sure that I had at least some decent pace. So I took the gamble, went for the 3-stop. At the end of the day, we still gained from where we started. We started 4th, finished 3rd, so you know we can't be too disappointed with that. But we definitely did have track position. The 2-stop may have been the better option here. Looking at the grid then, Rosberg gets a 20 million second time penalty, with Bottas winning the race there. That means he gains 10 points on us in the championship now, as we look further down the order with Jenson Button there. Ericsson also getting a 10 million second time penalty, with loads of cars being lapped and out of the way. And you can see that's why, look, Rosberg got a stop-go for gaining a position whilst corner cutting. So if you think I cut corners, no, they cut corners, and so did Marcus Ericsson, naughty boy. Ignore my corner cutting warnings down the bottom there. You need to ignore those. There's only 2 of them, so it's fine. Looking at the drivers' standings then, you can see that the gap between myself and Valtteri Bottas is 43 points, which means in the Brazilian Grand Prix, I need to score 7 points, and that's it. Whatever Bottas does, I just need to score 7 points, and I will take the drivers' standings. In the constructors, the gap is closed by 2 points, which means it is all to play for here in this Grand Prix. We need to outscore Bottas. Basically, we need to score 7 points to win the drivers' championship next race in Brazil, and we need to make sure that we get and beat Williams. And basically we can wrap up both in the Brazilian Grand Prix. But guys, that's it for this Grand Prix. If you did enjoy, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new around here as well. Let me know in the comments if you want me to live stream the final 2 races. That'll be Wednesday night and Thursday night, or leave it as 2 videos, which will be Wednesday night and Saturday night. Until then guys, I'll see you next time. Take care all. Peace.